AI is absolutely everywhere, right? And the hype around it is just deafening. But what if all this chatter about a revolution is kind of missing the bigger picture? Today, we're cutting through that noise to ask a much deeper, more timeless question. What's the real difference between easy power and earned progress? Let's dive in. You know, this whole explainer really kicks off with a feeling that I bet a lot of us have. It's this deep frustration. We keep hearing words like unprecedented and game-changing, but something just feels a little off. It's that nagging feeling that maybe, just maybe, we're clapping for the wrong reasons. And it forces us to ask, what does true brilliance even look like anymore? So to get to the bottom of that, we first have to recognize that not all brilliance is the same. There's this huge difference between brilliance that is earned through struggle and the kind of brilliance that just feels easy. Okay, so on one side, you've got what we can call deep brilliance. Just think about someone like Einstein, spending a solid decade with nothing but a pen, paper, and his own brain, literally wrestling new universes of understanding into existence. Then, on the other side, you've got accessible brilliance. This is your grandma using AI to find a recipe, or any of us asking a chatbot to explain relativity in 2 minutes flat. It feels like magic, for sure. But here's the key thing to get. AI isn't creating new depths of knowledge. It's shifting the access to it. Right, so if the difference is that stark, why is there so much hype around this accessible kind of brilliance? Well, the answer comes down to a really simple but powerful psychological trap. We are constantly mistaking ease for genius. This overhype is really fueled by a perfect storm of things. First off, to the average person, getting information instantly does feel like a superpower. Then you have the tech industry, which, let's be honest, needs that hype and those buzzwords to sell us stuff. But I think the biggest piece of the puzzle is that we just forget. We forget that every single AI model stands on the shoulders of giants, on all the foundational math and physics that others figured out the hard way a long time ago. At the end of the day, it all boils down to this one simple sentence. The heart of the hype, the source of all that frustration, is this profound mistake. We see something that's easy to use, and we think that ease is the same as genius. Your grandma using AI doesn't mean she suddenly became a physicist. It means someone else's incredible brilliance was packaged into a tool she can use. And here's an analogy that really drives the point home. The great minds of the past, they were building entire universes from scratch. AI today, it's often just assembling the pre-made furniture to put inside those universes. Now, both are useful, but they're not even in the same league of achievement. So if mistaking ease for genius is the disease, then what's the cure? It's not about throwing our tech in the bin. No way. It's about reviving an older, much deeper idea. The etiquette of knowledge. There is this beautiful concept from the Islamic scholarly tradition called Adab al-Ilm. And it's this powerful idea that learning isn't just about collecting facts like trading cards. It's about the deep etiquette, the sense of responsibility, and the humility you need to actually transform yourself into someone who is worthy of the knowledge you're seeking. And listen, this isn't just about one tradition. This is a universal truth. It doesn't matter if you're studying the laws of physics or the words of a prophet. The path to real, deep understanding always demands the exact same things: humility before the vastness of what you don't know, patience to get through the struggle, and a constant effort to refine yourself. And you see this principle pop up in worlds that you might think are completely separate. In science, a young Einstein couldn't just drop his theory of relativity in the mail. He had to prove his sincerity and commitment just to get a legend like Max Planck to even listen to him. And in sacred scholarship, you couldn't just show up to learn from a master like Imam Malik. You had to prove your character. You had to earn that trust. The field is different, but the rule is the same. Knowledge is a trust, and it's only given to those who show they're ready for it. Now, this idea of respecting knowledge, it's not just some nice abstract philosophy. Ignoring it has very real consequences. And to see what happens when a society's technical skill gets way ahead of its wisdom, we can look to a powerful warning from history. We hear that word unprecedented thrown around all the time today, right? But it should make us stop and ask a really critical question. Does powerful new technology automatically equal real human progress? History would tell us to be very, very careful with that assumption. So let's take the story of the ancient peoples of Ād and Thamūd. Their tech, for their time, was off the charts. We're talking about people who carved huge, magnificent mansions straight out of solid rock mountains. They engineered ways to thrive in the harshest desert. But their story is a cautionary tale. All that skill, all that brilliance, it wasn't matched by any kind of moral compass. They became arrogant. They abused the gifts they had, and they treated others horribly. And in the end, that brilliance didn't save them. It became their downfall. It's a timeless lesson. A society's brain can never be allowed to get bigger than its heart. Okay, that's a pretty stark warning. So where do we go from here? The answer isn't to be afraid of technology. It's to rediscover something we've kind of lost and to build a more hopeful vision for our future. So the mission, really, is a kind of revival. It's a call to get back to basics. It means we need to study with discipline, with a real respect for the roots of where knowledge comes from. We need to bridge the gap between ancient wisdom and modern science. We have to use incredible tools like AI responsibly, not just recklessly. And maybe most important of all, we have to always see ourselves as the student, not the final authority. You know, this whole mindset is captured in this one incredible statement. The person who said this wasn't chasing knowledge to get a title or to have status. They wanted to learn so deeply, so sincerely, that becoming a teacher wasn't even the goal. It's just such a beautiful expression of humility. It reminds us that the best teachers are almost always the ones who never set out to be one. They just loved understanding things so much, they couldn't help but share it. And so, we're going to end by leaving you with this final question to think about. As our tools get exponentially more powerful and our access to information becomes instant, are we actually progressing? Or is there a real danger that in our mad rush to advance our tools, we're actually regressing in our souls? That, right there, is the wisdom that lies beyond all the hype.